Understanding anecdotes. Anecdotes are short personal stories or examples that illustrate a point, evoke emotions, or make a concept more relatable and engaging. They are often used to connect with the audience on a human level, making abstract ideas tangible and memorable. Why are anecdotes important? 1. Build connection. Personal stories foster relatability, helping readers or listeners see themselves in your journey. 2. Illustrate concepts. Anecdotes make complex ideas easier to understand by grounding them in real-life experiences. 3. Inspire action. By sharing lessons from your own life, anecdotes motivate others to reflect and grow. 4. Add depth and authenticity. They showcase vulnerability, sincerity, and humanity, making your narrative compelling. Your own anecdotes, themes, and stories to highlight. Since your mini book is deeply personal, your anecdotes should focus on key moments that shaped your journey. Here are potential themes and examples to include. How 1. Love for holistic tennis. Anecdote: the match that changed everything. Share a specific moment during a tennis game when you realized how much the sport mirrored life. For instance, describe how managing emotions and maintaining focus during a match helped you see the value of balance and discipline in other areas of life. Tennis taught me that life's challenges are best approached with patience, strategy, and adaptability. 2. Love for true freedom. Anecdote: breaking free from the chains of PTSD. Reflect on a day when you consciously chose freedom over fear. Perhaps it was the first time you went to work without letting anxiety dictate your actions, or when you found solace in a new practice like journaling or mindfulness. Lesson: true freedom isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about finding the courage to face them with grace. NAS 3. Love for peace and harmony. Anecdote: finding peace in small moments. Share a story about a quiet, transformative moment, perhaps while meditating, walking in nature, or even during a peaceful interaction with a client. Describe how this moment reminded you of the importance of cultivating harmony within and around you. Lesson: peace isn't found in perfection, but in the ability to embrace the present moment fully. NA 4. Love for meaningful friendships. Anecdote: a friend's unexpected support. Recount a time when a friend offered you unexpected kindness or encouragement. This could be the client who inspired you to seek mindfulness, or a friend who helped you see your potential during a challenging time. Lesson: the power of friendship lies in its ability to remind us of our strength when we've forgotten it ourselves. 5. Love for education. Anecdote: learning as a lifeline. Share how diving into self-help books, attending workshops, or enrolling in courses became your escape and empowerment. Describe a particular concept or lesson that shifted your perspective and motivated you to grow. Lesson: education is more than knowledge. It's a doorway to transformation and possibility. 6. Love for working hard. Anecdote: the day hard work felt meaningful. Recall a specific task or goal you worked on tirelessly, whether in your role as a nail technician, during your journey of self-leadership, or while mentoring someone. Highlight how pouring effort into something you believed in gave you a renewed sense of purpose. Lesson: hard work, when aligned with love and purpose, becomes a joy rather than a burden. How to write powerful anecdotes. 1. Be specific. Focus on one moment or experience rather than generalizing. 2. Describe emotion. Share how you felt during the experience. This creates an emotional connection. 3. Include details. Use sensory descriptions to paint a vivid picture. 4. Tie back to the theme. End each anecdote with the lesson it taught you and how it shaped your journey. Reflection questions to craft anecdotes. What was a defining moment when I realized the importance of love, freedom, or hard work? Who has played a pivotal role in my transformation, and what did they do? How have specific challenges shaped my understanding of leadership? When have I felt most aligned with peace, harmony, or purpose? What's a small victory I achieved that had a big impact on my confidence or perspective? Would you like me to help you draft specific anecdotes for your book, or refine the ones you've already considered? Here are specific anecdotes drafted based on the themes you shared. Each one is structured to connect emotionally with readers while illustrating your journey of transformation. 1. Love for holistic tennis. The match that changed everything. I remember a match that started like any other. The sun was high, the court shimmering with heat waves. I was struggling, not just with my opponent, but with the mental chatter in my mind. Every missed shot felt like a personal failure. Every point lost a confirmation of my inadequacy. Midway through, something shifted. Instead of fixating on winning, I decided to focus on the rhythm, the back and forth of the ball, the sound of my shoes on the court, the steadiness of my breath. I found a strange, unexpected peace in that rhythm, and for the first time, the game felt less about competition and more about flow. That day, tennis became more than a sport for me. It became a metaphor for life: balance, focus, adaptability. It taught me to meet challenges with a clear mind and a steady heart, lessons I carried far beyond the court. Lesson: holistic tennis isn't about perfection. It's about finding harmony between effort and ease, just as in life. 2. Love for true freedom, breaking free from PTSD. There was a day, not long ago, when I stood outside my workplace, debating whether to walk in. The anxiety was overwhelming, my chest tight with fear. My mind raced with questions. What if I can't handle it? What if I fail? Then, almost as if answering those questions, a memory surfaced of a time I felt calm and free, sitting alone after a tennis match, watching the sky fade into evening. I remembered how it felt to simply be. That memory became my anchor. I took a deep breath, walked through the door, and completed my shift. That day, I learned that freedom isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward despite it. It's the ability to choose love over doubt, courage over hesitation. Lesson: true freedom begins within, with the courage to reclaim your choices and your life. 3. Love for peace and harmony, finding calm in chaos. One evening, after an especially challenging day, I found myself sitting on my balcony, watching the world go quiet. The chaos of the day still swirled in my mind. Unfinished tasks, difficult clients, self-doubt. But as I sat there, watching the leaves sway in the breeze, I felt a sudden wave of calm. In that moment, I realized something profound. Peace isn't about the absence of chaos. It's about finding stillness within yourself, no matter what's happening around you. That evening, I made a promise to myself to seek harmony, not by avoiding challenges, but by grounding myself through them. Lesson: peace is not a destination, but a practice of presence and acceptance. 4. Love for meaningful friendships, a friend's unexpected support. During one of my darkest periods, I received a call from a friend I hadn't spoken to in months. She had no idea what I was going through, but somehow sensed I needed her. Her words were simple: "I'm here, whatever you need." That conversation was a turning point. It reminded me of the power of meaningful connections, the kind that don't demand anything in return, that simply exist to uplift and support. It inspired me to cultivate those kinds of friendships in my own life and to be that source of strength for others. Lesson: friendship is a reminder that we're never truly alone, even in our hardest moments. 5. Love for education, learning as a lifeline. I'll never forget the first book I picked up after deciding to change my life. It was a simple guide to mindfulness, filled with practices and exercises that seemed almost too basic to work. But I tried them anyway. Breathing exercises, body scans, gratitude journaling. Each practice felt like a small victory, a step away from the darkness I'd been living in. Over time, learning became my lifeline. Whether it was a book, a workshop, or an inspiring podcast, education reminded me that I could grow beyond my circumstances, that I could become the person I aspired to be. Lesson: education isn't just about gaining knowledge, it's about discovering who you are and who you're meant to become. 6. Love for hard work, finding joy in effort. There was a client who came in regularly, someone I admired for her strength and kindness. One day, after a particularly intricate nail design, she looked at me and said, "You work so hard. It shows in everything you do." Her words stayed with me. They made me see hard work not as a burden, but as an act of love. Love for my craft, my clients, and myself. From that day on, I approached every task with purpose, knowing that my effort, no matter how small, was a reflection of my values and my commitment to growth. Lesson: Hard work, when fueled by love, becomes a source of joy and fulfillment. How to use these anecdotes in your book. 1. Connect each anecdote to the chapter theme. Include the match that changed everything in the chapter on holistic tennis. Place breaking free from PTSD in the chapter about true freedom. 2. Add vivid details. Describe the physical sensations, emotions, and environments to make each story come alive. 3. End each anecdote with a universal lesson. Tie your personal experience to a broader insight that readers can relate to and apply in their own lives. Would you like help expanding these anecdotes further or weaving them into specific chapters? Here's a complete chapter based on the theme of love for holistic tennis and the anecdote, the match that changed everything. Chapter 3, the journey of self-leadership, love for holistic tennis. Tennis has always been more than a sport to me. It's a world of rhythm, focus, and energy, a delicate balance between strategy and intuition. What I didn't realize until much later was that tennis would also become my greatest teacher, showing me how to lead myself with grace and resilience, both on and off the court. The match that changed everything. It started as a regular afternoon on the tennis court. The sun was relentless, casting waves of heat across the surface. My opponent was skilled, and with every missed shot, frustration bubbled up inside me. My mind was a whirlwind of self-doubt. Why can't I get this right? Why am I failing? Midway through the match, I felt close to breaking. My hands gripped the racket tighter, my movements became more rigid, and the game slipped further from my control. Then, almost instinctively, I paused. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes for a moment. When I opened them, I decided to focus on something else. Not the score, not my mistakes, but the rhythm. The ball moved back and forth, a metronome ticking in the background of my mind. I let go of the pressure to win and simply played, listening to the sound of the racket connecting with the ball, feeling the ground beneath my feet. Slowly, the tension in my body eased, and my movements became fluid. For the first time in that match, I felt a sense of freedom. When the game ended, I didn't care about the score. What mattered was the lesson I had learned. Success isn't about control. It's about balance, flow, and adaptability. That realization became a cornerstone of my journey in self-leadership. Tennis as a metaphor for life. What tennis taught me that day was more profound than any victory. The principles I applied on the court mirrored the ones I needed in life. 1. Focus and presence. In tennis, focusing on the present moment, not the last missed shot or the upcoming serve, is essential. Similarly, in life, staying present allows us to respond to challenges with clarity and intention. 2. Resilience. Every match is full of ups and downs, just like life. Resilience isn't about never losing. It's about returning to the game, learning from mistakes, and giving your best effort every time. 3. Adaptability. No two matches are the same, just as no 2 days are identical. Success comes from adjusting your approach, whether it's changing your strategy on the court or rethinking how you tackle a challenge at work. 4. Energy management. Tennis is a game of stamina, knowing when to push hard and when to conserve energy. Life demands the same balance, working hard but also resting and recharging to maintain peak performance. Applying tennis lessons to self-leadership. The lessons I learned on the court began to shape how I approached challenges in other areas of my life. Here's how tennis principles helped me lead myself more effectively. 1. Setting intentions, not just goals. Before each match, I began to set an intention, not to win, but to play with focus and grace. I applied this to my daily life by starting each morning with a clear intention. What do I want to bring to this day? 2. Reframing failures. Every missed shot became an opportunity to improve. When I made mistakes at work or in my personal life, I started viewing them as lessons rather than setbacks. This mindset helped me approach challenges with curiosity rather than fear. 3. Finding flow. On the court, I found my rhythm by letting go of overthinking. Off the court, I practiced mindfulness to quiet the mental noise and stay present. This allowed me to tackle tasks with focus and creativity. 4. Building confidence through small wins. Each well-executed shot during a match reinforced my confidence. In life, I celebrated small victories, whether it was completing a difficult task or handling a stressful situation with calmness. These moments built my belief in my own abilities. An invitation to play. Tennis gave me more than just lessons. It gave me a way to reconnect with myself. It reminded me that life, like a match, isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, trying your best, and finding joy in the process. I invite you to find your own tennis in life, that activity or practice that brings you focus, flow, and freedom. It might be a sport, a creative pursuit, or even a simple daily ritual. Whatever it is, let it teach you how to balance effort with ease, just as tennis taught me. Takeaways for the reader. 1. Identify your game. What activity helps you reconnect with your inner rhythm and balance? Make time for it regularly. 2. Reframe your challenges. Instead of seeing mistakes as failures, view them as opportunities to learn and grow. 3. Practice flow. Incorporate mindfulness into your daily routine to stay present and focused. This chapter can be expanded further with additional personal stories or reflections. Would you like me to refine or add other elements to it? Here's a visual representation of your chapter, capturing the essence of love for holistic tennis, with themes of balance, resilience, focus, and flow. Let me know your thoughts or if you'd like adjustments.